Let's check that volume real quick. See if it's staticky. We're just checking the volume. We're just checking the volume. What's good in Phoenix, blood? What's good in Phoenix, blood? What's good in Phoenix, blood? Yeah, I had to change the mic to clean out the mic, make sure the cords is working. I'm gonna still get some more mic cords just in case, some brand new ones. So that way, if they start staticking, because my guys were telling me, my man Nick Norton was saying, check your mic cords. Shout out to Phoenix, Arizona, the Phoenicians, the original, the sons of Ham. The people, this is Sunday. So look, Noah, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Noah equals, Noah is actually, yeah, we barring up today. What you want barred up? You just tell me what you want to have the bars. That's Noah's. They say Hebrew, but that's actually two African words, Nuhu. In the Quran, they simply, or the Huran, or the Hurrah, which is the brilliant spirit of consciousness and will. First son is Ham. It's the first son. Benavides versus Morel heating up. Did you already break it down? I did not. Is that what we doing today? If y'all want that broke down, y'all got to hit that Sunday collection play. Y'all know what it is. If you want that broken down, you got to hit that Sunday collection play. Well, let me put it in the Cash App for you. Ham is the first son of Noah, or Nuhu, which is not even a person, because the Nu is the dark matter. Hold on. In this book, they have the definition for Nu. Let me help you. Don't want niggas think I'm making it up my own thing. It's actually the first one. The gods of the Book of the Dead. The following are the principal gods and goddesses mentioned in the pyramid text. This is not, the pyramid text is something that was found like in pre-dynastical Egypt and some in the first dynasty. And those are the facts. Anyway, so Nu represents the primeval watering mass from which all the gods were evolved, and upon which floats the bark of a million years. So if a boat floats on a watery mass, then Ra, who is on the boat, is actually Nu, which is actually Noah. So you see where they get the story from? The ark is the bark of 1,000,000 years. That's the boat of Ra. You can just look it up. Or do you want me to break your back with a picture showing you Ra on a boat containing the sun? No, containing consciousness and will. This God's chief titles are Father of the Gods and Begetter of the company of the gods. He is depicted in the form of a seated deity having the head of a disc and plumes. No, he is in the form of a god. Well, that might be Nu, but Nu is Ra. Yes, he is in the form of a god, sitting down with two plumes, and he black. Nut, which derives from Nu, is a female principle of Nu. She is depicted with the head surrounded by a snake and a disc, or with the head of a cat. They got that wrong. That's Ra. But she still could have an Auru or yeah, it's called an Auru. I don't even use the regular words no more. I only know it to be an Auru. So if you got an Auru on top of your head, an Auru, like in the word Sekhit Aru, those are two things put together, and it's like a serpent energy. That's what they're talking about. The Sekhit is a spiritual house, and then the Aru is the serpent that's around the red energy. That's what the Aru is.
My dad just go.
I don't know, bro. He running and working out.
Oh, yeah,
You should have went running with him.
No, I need to go get a comb. Cause
What got you into ancient Egyptian wisdom? Was you into it from a young age? What got me into ancient Nubian wisdom is wanting to be able to understand what the highest civilization of Africa was, because nobody ever talks about it. It's very few people that talk about the Kabbalah, the chart. This chart, I'm sure y'all have seen it many times. This is an African chart. I know y'all have seen them symbols. This is the original African chart. That's why at the top it say Nun Kui, or it's actually supposed to be Nun Hui. Nun or Nu. You know what I'm saying? Nun would be the consort to Nu. It's just that simple. I'm African, bro. Like, I'm starting to realize that nobody really knows what an American is. Hey, blood, we don't believe over here. Quiz, hey, blood, don't get put on timeout. Like, my nigga, you know the rules. African calendar is 13 months. So that's what it is, bro. African rules. What are you talking about? The Gregorian calendar started in 1582. Man, hold on. See, this is why y'all gonna hit my Cash App, because with all this technology, you still believe it. Hey Siri, when was the Gregorian calendar started?
Gregorian calendar was formed in 1582.
Hey Siri, what is the Gregorian calendar?
Here's what I found.
Hey Siri, explain to me about the Gregorian calendar.
The Gregorian calendar is a solar dating system used by most of the world. It was introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582 AD. The calendar is made up of 12 months, 7 months with 31 days, 4 months with 30 days, and the last month with 28 or 29 days depending if it's a leap year. This answer is from Britannica and other websites.
That's not the original calendar. It was introduced by Pope Gregory the 13th in 1582 AD, bro. Come on, man. Were you talking about belief? Y'all drunk. Y'all still drunk. Y'all still drunk on this channel. Still. Y'all still drunk when we got technology to just give you, hey Siri, hey Siri, what is the most, no, not you. I don't need you. Hey Siri, what is the most original calendar?
A Mesolithic arrangement of 12 pits and an ark found in Warren Field, Aberdeenshire, Scotland, dated to roughly 8000 BC, has been discovered.
I would wish this world on anybody, because once you conquer it, you've conquered the universe, and that's the problem. If you're scared, go to church. The earliest calendars are the Neolithic calendars, which are the calendars of Africa, the Bronze Age, ancient Near East. Sumerian, no, Sumerians did not have anything before Africans, and that's where they be capping on this shit, on this Wikipedia. That's where the lies come in. How can a Sumite or a Semite be for a Hamite? It don't make no sense. It's cap. It says Hindus and Sikhs. Those Hindu, the Hindu religion system is the sister system to the African Nile Valley system, which is the head of all the systems. Like, you just gotta know that. Like, and that's why you gotta know your own history, because you will be reading something and they'll be acting like it's somebody else's history when it's your history by the words they use in an etymology of language. So yeah, no, I wish this world on everybody. So when you conquer it, you've conquered what you needed to do to get to the next level, the next world. Indians are Africans. It's called the Indus Kush Valley. So if you go, hold on, I'm about to bust you. I'm about to bust your pack. I'm about to show you. Very easy. Nope, that ain't old enough. Ooh, this is an old ass calendar. I need to say that. Hold on. See, they're giving you dates. 350. BCE. Nope. I ain't want that. There we go. I don't need all of this shit. Like, why did it go all the way over there? The fuck? Hold on, y'all. I'm looking for this I'm looking for the calendar, but I can't. I'm trying to enlarge it, but they keep taking me to Facebook or some dumb shit, and I'm just trying to see a calendar. So no, I'm not. I'm trying to do all of that. Like, damn, like you got to do all of that just to see the calendar. That's just retarded. Then when you do like this, there you go. So you can see for yourself. That's the calendar that they talk about in the Bible. That's the calendar they talk about in the Bible. So if you never classic African indigenous civilizations before Asiatic and European invasion. Here, you got to be patient. It's right there. Those are completely different names. Look, we're gonna break it down. Like, look at this. Start at the top. Numidia. Let's see how you pronounce that. Go to Google Translate. We type it in Sudanese. Why do we type it in Sudanese? Because if you go to when you're looking at the map, where was Sudan at? Sudan is Kush. And Kush was owned by Nubia, which was in between. Nubia was right here. And then went down into here. Oh, this is how you say that.
Numidia. Numidia.
Numidia.
Numidia.
You could barely hear them pronounce the D because black people have they mumble when they talk.
Numidia.
Numidia. Now, do you see how it start with new? That's an African word. Right there. You dead. You're dead. So then we'll go to the next one to the left, which is MESHWESH. Let's see how you say that.
Miss West.
Mess West.
Miss West. Miss West.
Mess West. That's how you say that. You can go look on the other map and see where all these. No, the religions can't die. Religions don't die. All the religions are hybrid of African religions so that people can keep the culture alive. I don't know why YouTube be capping like it don't nobody be watching this when it's 2 people in here. That's the cap shit. That's like when they kind of like messing with your screen, because now it looked like it wasn't for a minute. It wasn't looking like nobody was in here. I refreshed the live, and it's 2 people in here. So like there should be so much cap on these platforms. Here go the original Arabs called the Tehenu or the Tehemu. And at one time it was Tehemu because the Nubia, Mu and Nu is one and the same. And He means eternity. No, you don't know the time or substance. You don't know. On this channel, you speak for you. You don't speak for me. Saying we don't know the time or substance. I do. I'm giving it to you. That's where you wrong, and you're doing too much.
Tehenu.
Them is the original area. I didn't have to be. Yeah, I was there. How the fuck you telling me you weren't there? My spirit was there. See, this is why you got to take a break, because you're saying things that are not nowhere near scientifically true. Because in the Book of the Gates, it states that the Holy Spirit made the Nehesu himself itself. So that means anything I'm telling you, I was there because I am made from the Holy Spirit directly. So that means you get a 24-hour timeout for being absolutely wrong, according to the African knowledge of my people. You're wrong. So when you come over here running your mouth, you gone. 24 hours. Take a break. 2 and 4 is 6. You have the power, but not the right to ignore God's law. You never read that. You ignoring law. I'm literally telling you, laws of the black man's, of the black spirit, the Seham, the Trinity. And you're talking about the triple blackness. And you're talking about something else. You're drunk. That was drunk talk and goofiness. I'm going to give you a break. But that's what I'll be saying about niggas running their mouth. That was emotionally jealous of over knowledge. That's crazy. That's how niggas get over knowledge when they don't know something. Is them lentils vegan? Those are not lentils. You good over here? Are they vegan?
I didn't put nothing I was hungry either, right?
I'm just asking, bro. Because I'm hungry. I'm about to eat in a minute. I'm just asking. No, I'm good. I'm just saying. I'm just checking so when I do. Well, if you listen, bro, I'm gonna say this to y'all. J-Man 96. Kemet is not a place. Like, it's not a place physically. Like, if you can't know about Kemet and not know about anything else, because Kemet, Kem means black. And Et would be the black land. And that's new. That's what they're saying. Like, you gotta know when you know Kemet, you know the universe. Remember, the pyramids that point to the Giza, to the pyramids in Giza, the 3 pyramids point to Orion's or Al-Seer's belt. That means, and that's in the Sirius constellation which is in the South Pole. How are we in the northern hemisphere, but Kemet points to the South Pole? Somebody has been lying to you, friend. That makes no logical sense. And nobody has asked Neil deGrasse Tyson that. Since he knows so much about the earth and all of this shit in the universe, he ain't told nobody why the Giza, the 3 pyramids of Egypt, points to the Sirius constellation. And that is in the South Pole because the North Star is Polaris. No, your European teachers did not forget to talk about this. They talked about it. You just didn't understand it from their perspective. And these kids got me saying on trust. On trust, it ain't nobody's job to teach you shit. Excuse my language. Excuse it. Start thinking as a divine being. Start thinking as a divine being. And affirming as one. And sacrificing as one. The name of this country right here is smoking. I rolled this one extra crazy. It's High Times and Guava Kush. Kush! OG Kush. Where do you think they got it from? Oh my God. It's just like, hold on. Let me show you another one. Hold on. You see that? The Harappan civilization, also known as the Indus. See, they left out the Indus Kush. So that's cap. That's cap. That is cap. You seeing the cap on the AI. Watch. 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 Watch how the cap is. You see that? You see it? That's the cap. The Indus Valley. Indus Kush Valley. 3000 to 1300 BCE. Why was this the Indus Kush Valley? Hindu Kush is a mountain range. Hindu Kush has been a site of modern warfare in Afghanistan. Hindu Kush is home to ancient mines that produce lapis lazuli. That's the color of purple, and man, I don't even want to get into lapis lazuli. It's a precious metal. It's a precious gemstone that secretes or gives off the energy of consciousness. It's purple. You never heard that before. The Hindu Kush is one of the great watersheds of Central Asia. Hold on. It's the Indus Kush Valley. African blood. So when niggas going around saying they Indians, you just saying you African. So you might as well come on back to Africa because there is no, it wouldn't be an Indian without an African. They're the first people, Africans are the first people to conquer the civilization. You know what? I'm going to just show you. I'm going to just show you. I'm going to just show you. Everybody running around here saying they Indians. It should be so false. Listen, my grandma was talking that shit. She did a DNA test. She found out it's not even a such thing as a Native American. She was 1% Native Mexican. Fuck out. They just got to stop the cap, dog. You got to stop it. I'm looking for a man. Yes, sir.
You need to hurry up and get you some of these funny beans.
No, dog. Just eat the beans because you're greedy and fat. Just eat them, blood. You have no sense of discipline. You eat and then drink some water. See, you drink some water, you will be full. You know what? Hold on 1 second. We ain't even got to do that. We can go back to the map. I got it for you. What he say? My Indian friend told me yellow Asians consider themselves head of Asian community. I credit that to Europe. No, you don't have to credit that to Europe. You credit that to the Asians who saying it. You giving credit where credit is not due. You enslaved. That's what it sounds like. How you giving credit to where that's not due? They didn't make them do that. They doing that on their own. I'm gonna let you hear it for yourself. It's on my gram. Don't even trip. Man, this nigga Norv sending me so much content. My jaw flooded. Just give me 1 second. I'm almost there. Pause.
Inhabitants are the original creators. The original inhabitants are the original creators of the industrial civilization.
Hold
Which is
on.
also called Mohenjo-daro.
I'm about to give y'all the bars so y'all can see for yourself. It's Sunday. Ooh, this is the one. If y'all want that work for educational purposes.
Hudson, brothers.
Attack, peace.
I think many of you would have heard me or had seen me. What is the proportion of people who haven't seen me or heard me before? Okay, good. So in case if you hear some facts, because facts are going to be facts, I may be repeating it. And as I said, I have to repeat it to get the history out, or the true history out. As Brother Unili said, the purpose of my coming and talking to you is to educate. The word educate, I don't want you to miss the word. I'm not referring that you are uneducated.
I'm in Utah.
But I like to make a distinction, the use or the meaning of the word education. Most of the time, we call somebody educated because he has a BS degree or a PhD degree. I don't consider that to be an education.
It's not education.
That is simply the person is literate. He might maybe get a job.
Real quick. The word educos is the Latin root word to education, and it means to be tutored from within. So it doesn't mean you saying I have academia. That's not the same as education. Academia is peer-reviewed paper. That's not education, because I don't have nothing. Listen, real quick. It's education because I'm the only one. I'm reviewing the work myself with other work from other peers from their levels to come to a conclusion about the facts as a whole. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's Sunday. Like, can I get a break? Please, I'm just asking. Can I please get a break and give y'all something different? Like, you don't have education because you went to school, because they told you what to look for. You have education when you look and then do comparative studies, compare and contrast. I know that these two books are already different. That's the contrast. They're already different. But what's the comparative? One is a book of Ptah, and one is the book of the dead, which tells you who Ptah is. That's the comparison. I'm not preaching. It's a lesson learned. It's just a meeting we're having. We're having a meeting. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So it's like he's trying to tell you without telling you and making it too long that a lot of people think education is peer-reviewed paperwork. It's not. It's Cushite talk, blood. It's all it is. It's Nubian talk. It's Nubian knowledge. It's Nubian knowledge. It's not my knowledge, my G. It's not mine. I just am a messenger. I am just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. So I just want y'all to understand that clear distinction before we get back.
Fill his tummy. As African Americans are the black untouchables of India, that word is the word that we want to use. Education means to understand who I am, who you are, what's your background, what's your present. As African Americans are the black untouchables of India, that word is the word that we want to use. Education means to understand who I am, who you are, what's your background, what's your past, what's your present. If we do not understand that, then we are not educated, no matter what your educational qualifications are.
Now, you just, you heard a doctor. His name is, hold on, his name is Dr. V. Anamali. You just heard what the man said. You heard what he said. Because I get tired of y'all arguing. I get tired of arguments. I don't want to hear that. Like, respectfully. Anamali. Dr. V. Anamali. On means life. Or Anu Mali. That's why he talking this. I can't make it up. I'm just here to. You got to know etymology of language from the glyphs. It just is what it is. I don't make this stuff up. I studied the languages. People will get mad at you for that.
Okay. So
now, this is telling you, it don't matter what you say. You can go to college. You can do all of this. When you talking about Africans and you talking about the black untouchables of India, listen. I was my ex-fiance was from this civilization that this man is talking about, the Harappan, the Indus Kush Valley, where Pakistan is. That's where they Islam. They following some of the most original path. Unless you a Sikh. But hey, you heard what he said. You can go to school all you want. If you don't know your past, your present, your future, and where you are right now, you know nothing. He said Africans. He said Africans and the black untouchables of India, they take that word serious. She just talking. She don't have a man. That's the thing. She got all of that, but no man. She were a man.
No. I was thinking that there's one girl, right?
There's no man.
It was this older lady.
You got all that shit, but where your nigga?
She could get mad at. She could like, I could pull cars, and I'm like, you can't even pull no cars. You don't even have a man, so you're nothing. What makes you something?
A man is something when he got a purpose. So that's just how the cars work, and that's why we talking on this platform, because niggas think they be educated And this doctor is telling you just because you went to school means nothing. You don't even know where you come from. That's crazy. We'll continue though, because we'll be knowing.
With that kind of introduction, I would like to you a part of the world which has been completely hidden and forgotten. There are two worlds who were connected together long time back, but the present generation do not know. Either side do not know the other side is related. And that is my purpose. So if someone would,
I never watched this video before, even though I posted it on my Instagram because I do my own work. He's literally telling you his purpose. His purpose is to make a connection with Africa because they're Africans, Indian people. Everybody over there.
It doesn't look like an African.
Hold on.
It looks like the other side is related. And that is my purpose. So if someone would look at me, this guy doesn't look like an African. He looks like one of the Indians walking around the street. And most of the Indians are obnoxious to the African Americans. What is he doing here? And this has been raised several times. Every time I go to an African American meeting, particularly in the beginning, when Brother Noko Rashidi used to take me, and people question, who is this person? But I think I have spoken to several groups, several radio stations, and the book, the Dalits, the Black Ancestors of India, has fairly disseminated the information about who the Dalits are. I think now the African American community has understood that not every Indian is obnoxious. There could be somebody who is your brother or sister.
Yes.
And it's kind of difficult to find out. And even after I finish my lecture, still you may not be able to find out. But at least you would know there's such a thing, that there is a brother or sister who has same ancestry as you have. So going back to the history,
Dad, I'm going to go small. RJ.
You hear me?
That explains all them liberal college nerds on camera spewing indoctrinated, controlled thinking BS. Well, yeah, because when you go to school, they train you how to think. You never trained yourself how to think. Those things are done in Bibles and books. The spiritual mentality can tells you how to think. Hey, I appreciate the cash apps. I guess y'all hitting the Sunday collection plate. Hey, my man just gave me 6 on top of that 11. We going up.
Look, get some in there. Look, Akai, look, you throw the right hand from the back hand. Now look,
that explains the years because they really don't know. They don't know, y'all. They're taught. You go sit down and they say, you read this, you look up this, the test is on this. You get out of bounds. We're like, what are you talking about? That's not the topic at hand.
You see how you got to tuck the elbow? Now throw it from over
That's
here.
not the topic at hand.
That's the difference. Slip. Right hand twice. Slip.
You see what I'm saying?
Right hand. Slip.
You got to realize that.
Slip. No.
It's not the topic at hand.
Double it up.
The topic at hand
Yes.
is what the teacher is talking about.
I was running already. Not bad.
That's my man Tyler. He just hit me with 318.
I just ran the break.
3 and 8 is 4.
International and back.
And 4 and 8 is 13. And 13, 1 and 3 is 4. God needs you in order so it can come into the world. That's just what it is. Shout out to Tyler Little. Oh, I see what he did. Hey, now I got 11. I'm matching with my bro Aaron, which is 4 again. Y'all the one doing it, or who's controlling this to make that math add up like that? Who's controlling this? That's the thing. It's already a system down here, and that's what this man is trying to tell you. Like people going around saying, "Well, we Indians." No, you're African. Indians are Africans. It just is what it is.
But at least you would know there's such a thing, that there is a brother or sister who has same ancestry as you have. Okay. So going back to the history, what is the connection between India and Africa? I think by now probably a lot of people know, because I've asked that question several times, that India used to be called long time ago Eastern Ethiopia. Everybody knows that, right? No.
I never knew that. I never knew that. I gotta get up. I gotta get up and put the black castor on my skin just for not knowing that. That's crazy. India used to be called Eastern Ethiopia. So I had me an Ethiopian, not a Pakistani. That is crazy. No wonder the ass was like that. I had an Eastern. You learn something every fucking day, blood. Like, that's why I stay on this journey, blood. Like, don't nothing get me hyper than new information. Like, what? That makes me, listen, bro, that just recalibrated my whole genealogy. I didn't even know they was calling, even though it's the Kush Valley. See, that's the thing. The Greeks start calling Ethiopia, meaning the people with the burnt faces. So it's just like, what? It's crazy talk. That's literally crazy talk. No wonder the crazy cheeks was crazy like that. Looking like a BBL. BBL, Nori. That shit was crazy. You see, I'm a real player, so I can really talk about these things. It don't bother me. Like, I'm the one who got the phallus of Owl Sid. It's made of gold. That's what the books say. It has nothing to do with physical. It has nothing to do with physical. That's what I'm saying. You gotta really. I just didn't know that, dog. This is striking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But to have those talks, you got to get around them folks, because once you get around them, you'll understand who you are. They know the history. They know it. Like, my arms be really ashy right there. They're eating up oil right there. We'll continue. Dude is acting crazy though.
Yes. Okay. Yes. You also probably heard there is a big river in India called Ganges. Okay. To be frank, till 2 years back, I did not know what the meaning of the word Ganges. I simply know Ganges is Ganges. Do you know the name Ganges is one of the strongest and famous emperors of Ethiopia?
Is getting harder, especially
Hey, did you just hear, cuz?
right now.
Genghis is an Ethiopian name, dog.
Word Ganges. I simply know Ganges is Ganges.
You saying
Do you know the name Ganges is one of the strongest and famous emperors of Ethiopia? That's right. Do you think some crazy Aryans would name a big river in India after an African emperor? Would not. Simple logic says that.
Actually, no. No, we won't beat it.
In southern part of India,
Hold on, we gotta wait to cuz
No, like probably like 4, 3. I don't know.
done yapping.
I don't know what time I'm gonna be back. Hey, I gotta take care of my business. I gotta fight. I got a fight coming up. Birthday, okay?
Yeah, like, dude giving you the bars.
I'll see you. I'll see you.
You just gotta be willing to, you know, his name, he a doctor, so evidently he know, I'm telling you.
Dad.
All this
Dad.
Indian talk when
Can
they
we go renew my license? Cause I wanna fight.
Shit online.
Huh?
You just gotta do it online.
I wanna fight.
you gotta understand, cuz is really trying to give you the inside out information. He said, black people, listen, this is the crazy part to me. How do you even get that dark? You think you just born dark like that, and then you in the sun and you get dark, man? Yes, that's just crazy talk, dog. Like that's how lost. Damn, Ra'u Nefer Amen is live as I am live. That is a sign. Ra'u Nefer Amen is who wrote the Medu Neter. He live right now. He is live right here.
No, y'all need to be weird. It's not weird, but y'all be, I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe you don't be doing that.
God
I just got off.
is being worshipped
I get no fucking taco for nobody.
by the local people.
I was already done.
His name is Murugan.
I can't.
He is always on top of the hill.
Gotta do something, nigga, run around
You
doing.
go back to Eastern Africa, even today, there are more than 25 tribals
That's it, nigga. That's
worship
See,
a god
it's that.
which is on the hill. His name is Murungu.
It roll up weed.
And obviously, there's no connection between these two people over 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 years. So I'm trying to bridge the gap. There is a distinct and clear connection between the ancient India and the ancient Africa. And that is where I want to go back to the Indus Valley civilization. I think most of you would have heard that or maybe would have studied in school, which is as ancient as the Egypt Nile Valley civilization. I want to confess that I'm not a historian. I'm not an archaeologist, a sociologist. I'm a good for nothing engineer. Okay. So I'm not trying to go into the details, archaeological details. I will leave that to Brother Runoko Rashidi when he comes next. But the original inhabitants or the original creators of the Indus Valley civilization, which is also called Mohenjo-daro and Harappa or Harappan civilization, was created by the black man.
By black man.
People came from Africa.
Hold on. Let me
About,
get you together one more time. This is hard for
BC,
some people to realize.
people came from Africa. Good for nothing engineer. Okay. So I'm not trying to the details, archaeological details. I will leave that to Brother Runoko Rashidi when he comes next. But the original inhabitants or the original creators of the Indus Valley civilization, which is also called Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, or Harappan civilization, was created by the black man. People came from Africa. About 7,000 BC,
7,000
which is
BC.
9,000 years back, maybe even earlier than that. They brought agriculture. They domesticated most animals.
Domesticated the animals.
They were highly civilized.
Highly civilized.
They had two-story buildings.
Hold on.
Sanitation systems.
Rewind.
They had
saying a lot.
People came from Africa.
Highly civilized means able to do business on a high level. It doesn't mean what you think it means. Civil means able to socially do business in a construct of what a civilization is. A civilization is when people use their and listen, this is the thing written by another high priestess, and I'm just bringing it all together for you. I'm just a messenger. A civilization is people using their resources from the talents that they have to come together in one community, which is called a society. Manji. Okay? The society becomes a civilization or an era of a civilization depending how intelligent the people are in that society. If you have a full of ignorant people in a society, you have an iron age of civilization. If you have the highest, most highest of intellect and ingenuity and consciousness and will in a society, you will have the golden era of civilization. When you have the highest thinkers in boxing with the most skill, which are the four kings, you have the golden era. 3 of them were Africans, and 1 of them was an Afro-Latino, which is not even a thing. I'm just saying it so you can know I'm talking about Panamanian Roberto Duran. If you know, you know. You gotta understand. It's on you. It's on me. I'm just here to report it. So that's what he's saying. Highly civilized means you know how to trade at a high level. Period. Point blank.
About 7,000 BC, which is 9,000 years back, maybe even earlier than that. They brought agriculture. They domesticated most animals.
Hey Siri, define agriculture.
Agriculture means the science or practice of farming, including cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products.
So agriculture is the science of, Black Africans brought the science of practice of farming, including cultivation of soil for the growing of crops and rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products. Meaning they brought sheep so niggas could put clothes on their ass. And then they brought a system of knowing how to plant and cultivate food so people could feed themselves and sell and have a market. Oh my God, it's just crazy talk to me. It's just crazy talk. We'll continue though.
They were highly civilized. They had two-story buildings.
They had two-story buildings. That means where they went, there was just everything was ranch style flat. They didn't even have 2-story buildings. They didn't know how to pyramid up. That's all he's saying, blood.
Sanitation systems.
Oh my God, they brought sanitation systems to India. Like, excuse me. I didn't mean to hit you, baby. They brought sanitation systems to India. Come on, bro. That means the dude was in the streets. Okay, I only said that because at one time a guy was talking about the Dark Ages, and he was saying that people were getting sick in Spain and in Italy and those parts because they didn't have sewage systems and stuff like that.
Sewage system. They had a built-in screening system in the sewage, so the solids would not block the liquid passage.
They had a screening system in the sewage so it wouldn't block the waste, and the water would have 2 separate passages. It's just like a filter. They didn't have that.
They had chutes, so they can drop the garbage from the upper level to lower levels.
Oh my God. So that means niggas in New York, oh my God. Like, see, this is why you got to study this shit, because he literally telling you when you building the building high up, you create a tube so you could drop trash and it'll flow from the top to the bottom. Oh my God. That's an African, that's how they use construction over here. That is an African way.
They are individual wells. They are courtyards.
Courtyards.
Highly civilized conditions they were living. They're very peaceful agricultural people.
Very. Look. Hold on. Trust law off rip. Los Angeles wildfire compensation claim. Why would you have to claim a compensation when it was supposed to be because of global warming and natural climate? Why would you have to register to receive compensation for something that was supposed to be natural? Blood, the cap is everywhere. The cap is everywhere. They're trying to say many people receive up to 500,000. That's cap. They're going to take your security, run your credit, and tell you what they can't give you. And then they're going to use they securities to create more credits and not give people anything. And say, we can't give you that. You didn't have your property paid off and all that cap that they be using, which is cap.
Very well flourishing civilization. This is the original black people. Then about, I think, 5000 BC, small groups of people from Mediterranean started coming into Indus Valley. The Indus Valley I'm referring right now, if you could imagine Pakistan, and that is where the original.
Didn't I just say I never watched this video? When you do your bars, you do them. Man, y'all gotta excuse me from screaming, dog. Y'all gotta excuse me, my bad. Listen, man, I just told you, Pakistan is where original Africans go. This is how crazy the Supreme being a Sunday. And I just want to tell this story because it's not about what I lost or what I gained or what I had. It's about the lesson learned. I didn't know who I was as a man. God gave me what I thought was a Pakistani woman, which is what we're learning as an African woman, to tell me who I was. She told me, here, Do your DNA. It was $60. You have the power, but not the right to ignore God's law. So when I started this live, he asked me what made me get into ancient African and godly wisdom. It was me wanting to know who I was, because every avenue I turned in my life, people knew who they were. So this had nothing to do with Nur or learning the light. It had something to do with when I was in Catholic school, we had a nationality day. I didn't know what to do. All I could talk about was how we were slaves. That's not who I ever was. My last name is King. How was I ever a slave with that last name? Hey, blood, it just, you got to just use your common sense. It ain't got nothing to do with my bars. It's nothing new under the sun. You just don't know your divinity. And that's when these lessons must be learned. It was a dude who came dressed in the Nigerian clothing. He was like, I'm Nigerian. He had a gap in his mouth. I should have knew from right there because I had a gap. Well, I must be Nigerian. I needed his parents there to be like, if I was African, what would I be? They would have looked at me and been like, you Nigerian. Because another Niger told me that. Another Nigerian from the oil. Or those people in Niger are from the Nile Valley. They've been misplaced. We'll move on because I just told y'all I had a Pakistani. That means I had one of the most original women. And when she found her original person, she bounced. And that's what this is about. Understanding how to attract anything. Now, when I get to Africa and I get to Ethiopia, because remember this, you only attract what you are. So I'm not even Nigerian. I'm really Ethiopian in the Nile Valley civilization. I'm a Nubian. Kush. That's how I figured this out, by putting it together. Me, education, not academia. Because this doctor said being educated don't mean nothing about when you go to school. It means knowing your past, your present, and your future. That's our seer, time, space, amen. The subconscious, I'm going to just push play.
Indus Valley people lived. Mediterranean started coming into Indus Valley. The Indus Valley I'm referring right now, if you could imagine Pakistan, and that is where the original Indus Valley people lived. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, those are...
No, listen, I can show this to a Pakistani and they'll be sick to look at this. They will be sick. They will be sick to their mind to look at it because they don't know they African. They will be sick. They will be sick. Listen, they are sick. They have amnesia.
The two main cities that they lived. And that was not discovered till, I think, 1846 or something by the British. Before that, we did not even know that we had a civilization. The British, obviously, they were trying to build railway lines and they stumbled into the civilization. When these Mediterranean people came, they mingled with the local black people. And obviously, there is a certain amount of intermingling and maybe a slight change in features. That is the people they started calling themselves Dravidians.
Dravidian.
Maybe Brother Inuni might be able to give a little detailed definition as what the Dravidian means. I'm not quite sure, even though I call myself a Dravidian.
I'll tell him, a Dravidian is a person with features like mine. It's certain features of an African because we're the first people ever to come to this plane. We can look like anything. Africans created the sense of what an albino or a white person is. So that means you can see an African that doesn't have wide nostrils, They actually have a nose like mine, a pointy nose. Those are those people. Like they look like that. They have really slender face, slender builds. They're tall and slender. That's just how the DNA works. It expresses itself due to the climate and due to the environment.
But anyway, that is how the word Dravidian came into picture. To me, Dravidian and a black are one and the same.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, that is how it is being used in the Vedas and scriptures of the Hindu religion, which I'll go into a little later.
Yeah.
And even today, in India, normally the dark-skinned people are referred as Dravidians. Okay. When these Dravidians were living comfortably, about 3000 BC, between 3000 and 2000 BC, nomadic white Aryans came from the Central Asia. They were looking for food. They were just wandering around. They were huge, big people. The one thing, sadly, they had is their domesticated horses, which the Dravidians did not. With the horsepower of being nomadic barbarians, they had all the skills of killing and beating. So when they walked into Indus Valley civilization, they found a glorious people.
Now listen, he just told you some Caucasians came into the valley, barbaric, but they knew how to work horses and kill. Why didn't black people have to do that? Because we had control over the animals with our mind, my G. What? Why would we have to kill an animal? We could control it with our mind. I'll let you rest on that. He literally told you two things in one. He said the barbarians came and they mastered horses and they knew how to kill. Black people never needed to do any of that. Everything we did, we controlled with words of power in our mind. They came to us.
Living. So first thing they wanted to do is to conquer the people and to learn and to possess everything what these people had. A conflict took place. A war took place. It went on for several hundred years. Obviously, when the people came and the Aryans came, there is no very clear-cut statistics how many women came with them.
Just a faulty car in California.
See what I'm saying? You don't even know how many women came.
Perception is that not too many women they brought with them, the white women. So there is a mixing of color started during the period of struggle. So when the white man started having offsprings closer to white skin, not exactly white, closer to white skin, they started dividing these people into different groups.
Willie
The highest
Lynch
being
theory.
the purest white.
Willie Lynch fact.
The second group, little darker. The third group is little darker. And then they assigned positions or jobs or trades according to the color. The purest color had the best job. The second color, the lowest color, had the second level job. And the third level color had the third level job. And the fourth one is the darkest color. Okay.
Damn.
The purest guy, the white man.
You the Aryans came and took over the system. They created a class system brutally by making it where like all Caucasians will have the best jobs. So everybody gonna want to choose to be with them. They automatically gonna mutate the offspring. And then jobs go down due to color of skin. That's called a class. He's telling you how they created a class system out of skin color.
Brahmins. Brahmins, the word Brahmin comes from the word Brahma. Brahma is the creator of the religion that they later on invented. When they came in, they did not have a religion. Our ancestors had nature worship. That is what they did. They did not have any ritualism. They simply worshipped the sun and the rain and the fire and the air. That is the type of worship they had. They also worshipped cattle, cows, and the bulls, because that is what is used in their agriculture. So they wanted to thank them. As a matter of fact, even today in South India, where most of the Dravidians live, we have 1 day or 2 days. 1 day we equivalent to Thanksgiving, but we thank the sun, because without sun we cannot have agriculture. And the second day we thank the oxen and the bulls and all that. Even today it's happening. So this is our ancestry. But these guys, they created their own gods. Brahma is the creator. So the pure white Aryans, they call themselves Brahmins. Brahmins, I guess it's also meaning the wise man. That is according to them, obviously not according to me. Okay? So their duty or their exclusive profession is priesthood and teaching. They are the only one can read and write. And they are the only one can obviously be the priest.
Now, so that from right there, you see how when you add the Berber, the barbarian. See, this is the crazy part. I didn't even know that Berber at first was a word for barbarian. And then my old homie, little sis Wheezy, said she was from the Berber tribe. Man, you don't know your history. That word means barbarian. That means you come from white folk. Because that's what the doctor just said. A certain group of Caucasians that were barbaric. They were nomadic. They were looking for food. They didn't know how to farm and grow. If they were looking for food, they're looking for grass. Who knows? They don't know how to farm land and cultivate soil. Why don't you know how to do that? Because there has to be no soil or land where you're from. And then that land must have started to dry up, get warmer. And you like, well, where do we go get food? Where is the meat? Where is animals? Just how it works.
That means be close to the God, and essentially they call themselves the God. On earth, they are the God. The second lighter skin guy got the job of a trader, trading and accounting and taking care of the business.
They literally reversed the system.
The third guy, the third darker guy, is a warrior. And the big guys, they picked all these guys, okay, you're going to protect us.
See they're giving people jobs, and then they give the so-called lowest class.
This is the people came from their offsprings. But the indigenous people, we were fighting with them all the time and were captured and made as slaves to serve the first three. At that time, I think it really meant classes.
Yeah.
The fourth one is called the Shudras. They're in fact the slaves of the three upper castes. So the first three castes are called the upper caste. And the fourth one is the Shudra, or slave. But that doesn't end the story there. The people who fought with these Aryans but could not withstand and ran off into the jungles are called the tribals. And even today, you can see tribals in India. If you go and look at them, you wouldn't distinguish them from any other African in Africa. Every features, the curly hair, the big lips, and everything. Dark color, dark skin. In between, the guys did not run away, the guys did not surrender, but kept fighting all the time. Ultimately, the Aryans took these people as slaves, but they're so furious because these people did not surrender like the Shudras, and they said, okay, you guys, we're going to punish you, and we're going to call you untouchables. Because we can touch you, because if we touch you, we'll pollute ourselves. And we're going to designate the kind of jobs which are called polluting jobs. Cleaning the street, cleaning the bathrooms, carrying the dead animals, and everything which goes along is called polluting or filthy. And then we're going to make you to live away from this town, away from the villages, segregated. These are called the outcast or untouchables. This is initially started as a kind of a class system. And I want to make sure we clearly understand the difference between class and caste. There's a big difference. A lot of people do not understand, or if you talk to a lot of Indians walking around here, either they do not understand or they purposely lie to you. Okay? They do. There is a valley and a hill difference between the word caste and class. So this started as a class system, but then the Aryans worried about the purity of their race. They wanted to make sure that they have no more intermingling between these castes, so the Brahmins can control them better. They wanted to keep those people within the two walls, or the four walls. How can we do that? We need to make sure there is no crossbreeding. That's the first thing we want to do. How can we do that? We're going to introduce religion. That's the best way. You want to subjugate somebody, you introduce religion. And these Aryans were so smart in an obnoxious way. They invented a religion. They invented two words. One word is called dharma. The other word is called karma. Dharma means kind of a, you do what the God says you got to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what he says, the God says, this is your job. God tells you this is the job you got to do.
Your deeds.
Why, if a guy says, why I have to be a carpenter, why can't I be the priest? Then he comes around and tells you that is because of your karma. What is karma? You did something bad in your last life, so the God is punishing you this life.
No, that's not true.
Okay? But that doesn't stop right there either. You better not question that again.
That's cap.
Why you are in that position. If you question, you will make the God angry, and next life you're going to be worse than this.
That's the cap.
Very smart people. Extremely smart people. So everybody did their job with a smiling face. It doesn't matter what the job is. Agreeing to be a slave, enjoying the slavery. So that's what we call in India, where the slaves enjoy slavery. Because they think they're serving God. But it took 3,000 years for me to get up and said, which God? Let me find out which God he is. Who made me be an untouchable? Tell me what I did in my last life. I sure want to find out. Okay. I sure want to talk to that God. Maybe I'll shoot him. Because I know the life of an untouchable in India. But what these Aryans did, they made us completely dumb, completely ignorant, completely illiterate, completely poor, completely weak in every sense of the word for 3,000 years. We can study, we can read, write, we can't even, our women cannot even cover their body. And we cannot even wear any dress like the other man. I'll go back later on and read some of the scriptures, which is the holy books of Hindu holy books, where it says an untouchable, the dress of an untouchable has to be the dress of the dead corpus.
Match today with the tax expert who's just right for your situation.
Yeah,
They'll do your taxes.
Work. You see how he just giving you the bars? You see how he just giving you the bars? Like, folks came in and
From broken parts.
Christianity with their version.
So when they have systematically
That's what he's telling you.
made these people,
You get an account. You get that? He just told you what happened. They was good before the white people came, the Caucasian. That's what he just said. And then you come in and say something completely different. It's crazy. He sounds crazy. He just said it. Like, this is the truth. He said they were nomadic people. Maybe this is before your time, so I'm going to give you a break so you can understand this is before your time. There you go. It's like a 24-hour job.
people for so long, they completely accepted their faith, so-called faith. I said, well, obviously I've done such a bad thing in my last life. I have no choice. So I might as well hope for better life in next life, better things in next life, or maybe better life for my child in my next life. So let me faithfully follow my dharma. So I don't even have a mind to question as to why I am an untouchable and this guy sits on top of the hill. Okay.
Nobody asking questions.
It took
just because I'm dark.
3,000-4,000 years for us to even think about it. Okay.
It's crazy talk.
This is what is called Varna Shrama Dharma, which is Varna means color. In Sanskrit, the word Varna is color. So the religion today is called Hinduism. The original name is not Hinduism. It is either called Brahminism, Brahminism, meaning that you accept Brahmin as a superior. That is the name of the religion. Or Varna Shrama Dharma, meaning, I told you Dharma. The Dharma is the job that you do designated by God, and that job is due to your Varna, so Varna Shrama Dharma. So this is the name of the religion. Till 9th century AD, when the Persians ran into India, they saw the river, the Sindh River, the Indus Valley civilization, which is the river called Sindh. They said, well, this is Sindh River, so this place called Sindh. But they can't pronounce yes somehow. They couldn't pronounce yes. So they called them Hind. Then they said, everybody who lived in this part of the country called Hindus. For them, everybody other than who followed Islam were Hindus. Even though an untouchable who is an outcast, because to be an Hindu, you gotta have a caste. If you are an outcast, obviously you don't have a caste. If you do not have a caste, you can't be a Hindu. But for the purposes of the Brahmins and the other upper caste, it is for their advantage to call the untouchables as Hindus so they can faithfully, obediently do your job. So they called them as Hindus. And the untouchables, not knowing what's going on, agreed, we are also Hindus. Except I can't go into their temples, I cannot go into the streets where the upper caste live, except to clean their bathrooms. Okay? So we were the outcasts. When the British came, they, obviously the purpose of the British who came there to conquer and to rob the country. That's what they did. And obviously the Brahmins were the guys who were controlling the local population. So they went to the Brahmins, and Brahmins said, everybody Hindus. So British wrote everybody Hindus. So that is how everybody is called Hindus. If you read any article in New York Times about India, they would say India has 85% Hindus, which is absolutely false. So tomorrow, if you happen to see an Indian on the street, if you ask him what religion do you follow, if he says Hinduism, you should say, you mean to say Brahminism? He may not even know, or he may not agree with you. Because systematically, for all these years, the Indians or the Hindus have cheated the international community about what's going on in India. The caste system, the untouchability, it is so prevalent, so rampant, so barbarous, so evil, but it's all done in the name of religion. So nobody talks about it. And then it's controlled by the white man. The international press is controlled by the white man. So nobody can talk about it. New York Times press reporter goes to India. The first guy meets him as a Brahmin. So Brahmin feeds him some trash. This guy brings the trash and spits out here. That's what's going on. Okay. So we are now trying to bring some truth in what's going on. Okay. I'm going to go back and show this book, African Presence in Early Asia. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this book. Okay. There are a couple of excellent articles here for those who want to understand a little bit the African connection, the Dravidian connections. But I want to quote one.
You've been in a car accident, don't call.
Hey, listen, he is cooking. Man, long live Velu Alamali. He was cooking, bro. Like, he is cooking so crazy. He's just trying to let you know.
The Brother Wayne Chandler's article, he brings Ethiopia and India together in this quote. And upon his return to Greece, they gathered around and asked, tell us about this great land of blacks called Ethiopia. And Herodotus says there are two great Ethiopian nations, one in Sind, meaning India, and the other is in Egypt.
So it's Cindy. Hold on, it's Cindy.
It says there are two great Ethiopian, one.
It's actually Cindy. It's actually Cindy. They couldn't say that, so they started saying Hindi. That's
little starting with the Wayne Chandler, Brother Wayne Chandler's article. He brings Ethiopia and India together. And upon his return to Greece, they gathered around and asked, tell us about this great land of blacks called Ethiopia. And Herodotus says there are two great Ethiopian nations, one in Sind, meaning India, and the other is in Egypt. So And there's an excellent article. There are a few mistakes, but I think that we can ignore that. Somebody said something? Okay. I want to define a caste system.
A caste system.
How do you define a caste system? What is a caste system? Everybody talks about caste system, but I want to read a well-written definition. A four-tier, airtight, stratified, and predetermined compartmental system of ascending order of reverence and descending order of contempt, with no entrance, no exit. It is fixed for the lifetime.
That's a fact.
Decided on the basis of your birth, not merit, not scholarship, not even bank balance. Hindu religious scriptures came to elaborate, encode, and morally justify the system. One is born and died in the same caste. So once you are born as an untouchable, you are untouchable forever. And your child becomes untouchable automatically. So the Brahmin, his child is a Brahmin, no matter how idiotic he is, how stupid he is.
That's cat.
And no matter how intelligent and untouchable is, he's still untouchable.
Crazy cat.
This system, unique system, only in India, nowhere in the world. And also the so-called Hindu religion is also only in India, nowhere else. So this is, Hindu religion is nothing but caste system. What is a caste system? In fact, originally started as a racism. It started with racism. And racism taught in the name of religion. So if anyone asks you, how do you define Hindu religion? It is sanctified racism. That is the word. So if in future, if you happen to see, and I would encourage you to catch every Indian, if you see, ask him what's your religion, he says Hinduism, you mean to say sanctified racism. I hope you would all say that. And I hope I'll give you enough information so you can support yourself. He is an ignorant guy. He doesn't know. He doesn't want to know, except his parents told him he's an upper caste. He's hanging on to that. And he loves to call himself an upper caste.
How much money you're eligible.
He really bagging you right there. That's a bag. Exactly. There's two great black nations. Egypt is two Ethiopias, Egypt and India. It's crazy talk. Crazy talk.
If in future, if you happen to see, and I would encourage you to catch every Indian, if you see, ask him what's your religion, he says Hinduism, you mean to say sanctified racism. I hope you would all say that. And I hope I'll give you enough information so you can support yourself. He is an ignorant guy. He doesn't know. He doesn't want to know, except his parents told him he's an upper caste. He's hanging on to that. And he loves to call himself an upper caste. But he never thinks for a minute as to why he is an upper caste. Why the other guy is a lower caste? Why is he untouchable? He never thinks about it. Because it is in their head, it is in their blood, it is the sickness. Shred of humanity, shred of compassion, if anyone has, why should I be the priest all the time? My father was a priest, my grandchild is a priest, and this guy is cleaning my bathroom, which he cannot even come into my house, cannot walk into my street. Don't you think a little bit of humanity would raise this kind of consciousness? Over 4,000 years this is going on. Neither Indians nor the international community ever talks about it. And today there is a war going on in Bosnia. They say, let's start an inquiry, war criminal inquiry. I mean, here an oppression, systematic oppression going on for 4,000 years. Nobody talks about it. What is the reason? 200 million people are suffering today. And nobody talks about it. You know, one of the main reasons is because they were blacks and they are blacks. That is the basis. You may not know that, I may not know that. I did not know even know that my ancestry was black. I was not taught that in the school. When I went to school, they talked about Indus Valley civilization, but they never told me that is my ancestors who created this great civilization. Now you know what they're doing? The Brahmins, all these years, they said it is a Dravidian civilization, the black civilization, the Aryans invaded. In the last 2 years, now they say, we found new evidence. That is, no, Aryans were never invaders. Aryans were indigenous people. They found new evidence. Is it that difficult to plant evidences? It is painful. It is painful that they could have the obnoxious mind to twist history. And they are finding.
Hey, listen, I'll say this. All that twisting history is over because now I'll be on social media seeing that they got people in Egypt taking a DNA test. And they say they're not even from Africa. They be like calling their mom, I'm not even Egyptian. Why would you? You know, Middle Eastern, 40% European. Yeah, blood. Like, what did you think? Like, they see that DNA test really let you know. All the joking is done. Play with your mama. I'm in Hotep.